signed copies of the book, and so I got the book, and I watched the movie.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Exactly. That was the first thing that anybody said to him when he started the talk.
He must have hated it.
And he said, "Hi, everybody," and somebody at the back went, "Oh, hi, Mark." Immediately.
So, what is Disaster Artist about?
It's about the most entertaining bad movie ever made.
The best, worst, bad movie?
I mean, it's not the worst movie ever made. It's just...
What would be the worst movie ever made?
It's probably something that you've never heard of. It's so bad it's unwatchable.
Yeah. I don't know, Mortal Kombat.
Oh, no, but that's still funny.
That's true.
It's still entertainingly bad.
Yeah.
And it's got that song. Or that piece of music.
I was going to edit into a previous podcast, but I just didn't know how to put the music in so that it kind of flowed. So I just decided, no, I'm not gonna put it in.
Yeah. Anyway.
So if people don't, I think everyone who would listen to this podcast would know what The Room was.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if you don't,
if you don't know what The Room is, then there's absolutely no point in you watching this movie.
Yeah.
Really.
Oh, we had as with me and the intern were sitting down, we see these three guys come in and they're full blown just yelling out like lines from The Room, like they're like saying, "Oh, hi, Mark," and I did not hit her. It's like, all that stuff. It's really funny. So they were like diehard fans, and I'm pretty sure everyone in the cinema knew what The Room is because everyone, whenever like a certain kind of
like some sort of
secret joke
reference to the film comes
they
up.
would laugh. They would laugh a lot. So it was pretty funny. So Disaster Artist.
You sound like Tommy Wiseau.
Oh, you're tearing us apart. Is pretty much like it's derived.
It's
from a
it's an
book.
adaptation of the
Yes.
Disaster Artist novel written by Greg Sestero and Tom Bithell, and it's based on Greg Sestero's experience
With The Room.
with Tommy Wiseau, really, because it's more than just the film.
Is the film true to the book, like their relationship and how Tom? Okay, because
That's actually the problem when you read the book after you've seen the film.
yeah,
The film becomes a lot less interesting.
yeah. Because some parts, the way James Franco portrayed.
No, actually, I think that James Franco's performance is the best part of the film.
Yeah.
It's the outstanding part of the film. That's probably the reason why people like it and why it works
But
on any level.
was Tommy Wiseau really like that?
He's worse. So the way he comes off in the book is he's really manipulative.
Oh.
Like in the film, he comes off as like a kind of a tragic hero that's misunderstood,
Yeah.
and he gets a bit shitty sometimes.
Yeah.
But in the book, and it's like Greg Sestero in the film comes off almost like a bit of an idiot. Like he's just going into this like out of blind faith for a
Yeah.
friend who hasn't really given him that much apart from like an apartment
Yeah.
for nothing. Like, and you're going,
That's still-
okay,
that's
like
still a
that's
lot,
good.
yeah.
That's good, but like on some level, how Greg Sestero got an agent is kind of accurate. Like he just happened to get a meeting with this woman who was a big time thing, who's played by Sharon Stone in the film, and then she basically just walked in and went, "Yeah, I like you," and then walked out. And when he was signed up with them, but it's like the reason he played Mark in real life very different. Like the way that it's done in the book, because this is exactly how it happened. There was a different guy playing Mark that they cast.
Yeah,
And then Tommy basically had always planned for Greg to be playing Mark,
Yeah.
and pretty much just used it as leverage, like, and ended up basically saying to Greg that he'd buy him a car and pay him a huge amount of money to be in the film. If he'd be in the film, if he'd just like clam up and pretend that nothing's happening, and then he just went along with whatever Tommy did.
Yeah.
As far as this other actor.
Yeah.
And basically, like, on the first day of shooting, the guy who was supposed to be playing Mark got replaced.
Oh,
In a kind of shitty, backstabby kind of way.
probably.
That's exactly how it happened. Like,
Okay. So, because I was watching it and I'm like, surely he's not. I don't know if that's going to make it any better or worse. It's equally as hot out there as it is in here.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, well, no, you've got the book too.
Yeah.
I just was. Do you want a piece of paper or
No,
something?
I'm good. Keep going.
I was just a little bit like cautious when watching it because I'm like, I don't know if this is what Tommy Wiseau or this is what Greg.
Look, it doesn't have to be accurate.
Yeah.
The main problem I find with the film is it's not a very interestingly directed movie.
It's not a lot to it, is it?
Because Franco doesn't do much with the material from a directing perspective.
No.
Like he does a lot.
He
in his performance.
He uses the references from that original The Room film a lot to create humor.
But that's really the funniest parts of the
Yeah.
film. And they're only funny if you've seen The Room.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what I'm thinking. Look, it's a good film. Can we?
Yeah, it's fine. Like, there's nothing.
It's funny if you've watched.
It's funny
The
if you've
Room.
seen The Room. If you haven't seen The Room, I don't know why you're seeing it.
Yeah.
And you probably won't get half the jokes.
Yeah.
I didn't like how it opened with the celebrity things.
That's what I thought too. That was
weird and it just didn't work.
I didn't understand the point of that. I almost even forgot about it because I was
we really like it. Okay. Get on with it.
Yeah. Well, I just thought, like, I was really confused because I'm like, obviously there's this huge thing where Tommy, you don't really know where his money comes from or anything.
They still don't.
They still don't, which is killing the intern.
Still don't know. I still don't think they know how old he is either,
No,
or exactly where he comes from.
Yeah, so weird. He said that he kind of confessed that he could be Polish.
Yeah.
Could be, not like he's like not sure that.
There's all this stuff linking back to France as well.
Yeah, so
and it's and maybe Belgium, but I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, so I'm really confused on like Tommy Wiseau as a person, less so than a character in this film.
Well, it's funny because I was watching Red Letter Media, and I had a very similar opinion to them about like the film, but then they were talking about they did a review of Ed Wood this week, which is the Tim Burton movie, starring Johnny Depp. Pretty much the same film, but the difference is that Tim Burton, at the time, I believe, was a much better director. He pretty much... So, Ed Wood was a director back in the 50s, I think. He made, like, shitty horror movies. And Plan 9 from Outer Space was one of his films, and it sort of got the reputation for being the worst film ever made. Kind of like The Room does now.
Yeah.
And he was kind of... Not exactly like Tommy Wiseau, like people know who he comes from and all that sort of stuff, but he was like very in awe of the Hollywood machine and like how it worked, and there's stuff like him meeting Orson Welles and everything like that, and then he just made this piece of shit, and it's kind of got this reputation of being terrible. But the thing that Tim Burton did with the film is like, even though it's not particularly accurate necessarily to everything. Like Ed Wood was a very eccentric character anyway. Like he was a cross-dresser. Yeah. Various other things, like especially in the 50s, it was a weird thing to be.
Of course it was.
And then in the way that the film's done is it's done in black and white. Yeah. Pretty much in the style of his own movies. Like the film itself, Ed Wood, is done almost in the style of a 1950s B movie. Okay. Even in the acting, they overact. They're like over the top acting, and like Johnny Depp's kind of a weird version of Ed Wood that's not realistic. And yeah, it's just a much more interesting, much better, more well-made
stylistically
movie.
Are you talking about
I think
that?
even script is better. Like, I mean, I consider it's probably one of Tim Burton's best movies. Like, it's really up there.
Before the Dark Era.
Might have been one of his last good movies before he took a downturn to being just some director for hire.
Yeah. I don't really have anything else to say because I think the main flaw with the film is that it relies so heavily on the references to The Room. And I wanted to go see this with James and Uma, which are one of my friends. And both of them, who I don't believe have seen The Room or know anything about The Room really, were like, no, it looks really fucking boring. And now that I've watched Disaster Artist, I can see where they're coming from. It, like,
to them, they wouldn't have any.
No, because like for you to watch someone go like, I did not hit her, I did not, like, you just be like,
this is so stupid.
This is bizarre. This is,
you don't know the result. Really, even at the end when they play the two side by side.
I think that was funny.
Like, that was fun, but it didn't add anything to the movie. Like, it was like, okay, because those clips that they had, I think one of the best and worst sequences in the film is also the ending, the whole cinema thing, the premiere. Yeah. Because it's really good when they're watching the film. Yeah. And gets stupid at the end when he just kind of decides that, oh, it's fine.
Yeah.
I made them all laugh, which is not
Well,
how it happened at all.
I thought it was a bit weird when they just kept laughing like a lot, because I'm like, surely it's not like, it has funny parts, but surely it's not so hysterical.
It started off awkward, which was good.
Yeah.
And then it got more hilarious as it went on, which is fine.
Yeah.
That worked, but I thought the whole Greg coming out and going, oh, you know, they're laughing because of you, Tommy.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, good.
Tommy was really pissed, like his character really pissed. Like, obviously that's the point, I think. But I was getting like, oh my god, he's so freaking
He's
annoying.
a painful person.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how Greg Sestero lived with him in his life for so long.
Yeah. Because then the part I didn't really understand is the whole fact that, like, Tommy's character, like, didn't like the fact that Greg had moved out or had a girlfriend or anything like that.
The whole idea you get from the book is that Tommy gets really jealous of Greg, of, like, being more successful. Like, and it's not like Greg was really going anywhere.
Yeah.
He was going more places than Tommy was. Like, I haven't quite finished the book yet.
Yeah.
I'm nearly there, but there's moments where it's just like, Greg gets a film at one point, which coincidentally, apparently, James Franco also auditioned for. And, he got the role in this, like, film that they ended up shooting in Romania. It was some shitty horror movie that I don't know. I don't even know whether you can find it now or whatever. But Greg got that as, like, the leading man.
Yeah.
And, like, that was... He was like, oh, this might be a big deal and all that sort of stuff. And then Tommy's like, okay, you know. And Tommy goes, oh, I'm going to go to this acting school and this and all that sort of shit. And
so they didn't meet in acting school, they met?
They did meet in acting school.
Okay.
But there's like whole bits of the book that aren't in film, obviously, because it's just too long.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Yeah.
It's also like, it could get really repetitive as well.
Yeah.
If you're watching the film like that, because there's a lot of ground that goes over a few times.
The scene with the ass, though, oh my god, that made me so... Like, when James Franco, he had to, like, he's like, I need my ass in the scene. People will watch the movie unless my ass is in it. I was like...
I need to show my ass to sell the movie.
I know. I think he's portrayed as a more forgiving character in the film than he probably is in the book. I think in the book you'd definitely be like, oh, you're a bad person, or you're a very...
Well, I don't know whether he is now, but I think at the time
he was
a...
clearly
and
very...
it's more seedy than, like...
Well, apparently, when they started filming it, like, he jumped on the girl who was to play Lisa.
Like, you know how in the film they do, like, the casting?
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny?
Yeah.
Like, in real life, it was just fucking weird.
Yeah. Oh.
And creepy sometimes.
I believe that.
Because he used to, like... he used to, like, look for... like, basically models to play Lisa. Like, and, like, models would turn up, and he would conduct the auditions in a group with, like, lots of them and go from one to the other. I can't remember exactly what he did, but it was, like, they basically went, all the, like, successful ones, the ones who are bound to, like, get, be getting work and all that sort of stuff, basically just, like, yeah, I'm out straight away.
Boy.
And just leave. And they said, like, the girl who played Lisa, whose name I can't remember, was, like, so tolerant of everything that he did, even though he was such
creepy
as
shit. Fuck.
Like, the whole thing of, like, oh, you know, what are these pimples sort of thing, like, on it. So, like, that happened in the book, but in a different... She's in the makeup chair. They haven't started the scene yet when he notices, and he's, like, going to the makeup lady. What the fuck is this, you know? This is an American film, blah, blah, blah. It's got to be like this.
Oh, it's so warm. Can we take a tenner? Can you turn on the aircon? Mercy on me, turn on the aircon.
Yeah, just turn on the aircon. Who cares? We'll have this as the last one of the year. It'll have noise in the background. It's all good. Actually, I can probably just drown it out. It's not that bad.
If you edit it in a certain...
who cares?
It's mainly my mic. I feel like that's picking it up.
Yeah, of course, because that's right. No, man. Doesn't matter.
It's fine. Guys, this is our background music
I don't
now.
want to turn into a puddle.
No. I was going to say we're both dying a little.
Yeah.
I'm falling asleep because it's so warm.
But yeah, it's good. I'd definitely watch it again.
I'd watch it again.
It probably doesn't have quite the replay value that the actual Room has, but...
I think what I'd probably enjoy is watching The Room and then watching it straight after The Room, and that'd be pretty fun. But The Room, I think, as a whole, is quite hard to get through unless you look, you know.
I've watched it only once.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
I haven't even watched it. I've only watched highlights of it.
Like, it does get boring. Like, actually, the thing is, like, if you're going to watch it, probably the best place to do it is, like, at one of those midnight screenings where everybody's just into it.
Well, they sold out. They sell out all the time.
Yeah, they do. And, like, the thing is, as well, like, when I watched The Disaster Artist, I really liked it, and then it wasn't until later that I sort of, like...
thought about it. And...
was thinking, like, when I was reading the book especially, because I was like, okay, if they had a better director, maybe...
Look, book to film, it's always going to be a little
I know, but it's
shiny.
like the themes don't even carry over, if you know what I mean.
I think James Franco did too much by trying to act and direct and
I just don't think he's a particularly good director, maybe.
I don't know, has he directed anything before?
He's directed a bunch of stuff that nobody ever talks about because it sucks.
Well, there we go.
I think he's just lucky.
Yeah, I was going to say he probably just got lucky with this one. Yeah, no, like I'm happy to end this year on this film in a way.
Yeah, it's fine.
Because it's one of those films, like, I think it's hard for me to rate it or to give it, like, oh, this is how good it is versus this. Because it's so, like, oh, well, I only like this film because of The Room. Then if I didn't know The Room, then would I like this film still?
It's basically like an independent version of, like, doing Star Wars or anything like that. It's just, like, there's, like, branding attached to it almost.
Yeah,
like,
there's too much,
you've
there's too many
you've seen
things,
The Room, then watch this movie.
Yeah. It's kind of like, this is like a really bad analogy, but I can't think of anything else right now. But it's like the idea of like, you know, when you watch like the childhood television cartoons, like or anime, like Yu-Gi-Oh, or Pokemon or something, and then they like reboot it, or they. Oh, speaking of which, like Ryan Reynolds has been casted to be Pikachu or something in like a live adapt. I don't know. I heard that somewhere, but it's like that idea of
smart mouth Pikachu.
Well, like people are gonna go, like adults are gonna go see it, or at least I would see it. Sorry, don't judge me. Just because of the nostalgia connected to it. Like, similar to the idea of, like, Disney doing those live-action adaptions.
Or Marvel or Star Wars.
Yeah, like, there's just a lot, like...
I don't think The Room's there for the nostalgia. I just think it's because...
Like, obviously, like I said, bad example, but there are a lot more... It's... The draw factor isn't just, oh, this is a good film. It's, well, it's got
I honestly think the
this
draw
and
factor is James Franco's performance. Because he's really good. That's the main reason to watch it. If you know it, like if you've seen any footage of Tony Gossard in The Room, you know as soon as you see the trailer, it's spot on.
Yeah.
And he doesn't feel like he's just imitating him either. Like he is doing a character at least, and it's not like shallow. And it's not shallow from his performance perspective. I just think the film's a bit shallow. So that's
that, I think.
That's that movie.
There's really not much else. Like, there's not much to say about it because it's.
Like, there's nothing I can say about the cinematography or
there's nothing unique about it,
or the direction or the editing or anything like that. That really, I think there's only a couple of moments which I'd say had like good directions. Like when he's first introduced as a character in the acting class is well done, because you don't see him, and then he says Stella from Streetcar Named Desire, like the worst delivery you could ever do.
Yeah, I know.
And that's when you first see his face, and it's great.
I kind of like the little like sections which reference the film The Room before they even start filming. So like the balcony, him humping clothes.
Yeah,
that really got to me.
I even liked when he's like writing the script.
Yeah,
and they're doing that. That was quite fun.
Yeah, and then like seeing the window with the water come down, he's like, "Oh, that's cool."
Yeah, and
then obviously it's like a huge thing in the movies.
Yeah, it looks stupid. And then I like the stuff that they didn't reference a lot is like they reference the fact that he was shitty to the costume girl.
Yeah.
But he was also shitty to the props department, which isn't like going into detail in the book, but that's like the reason why there are frames with spoons in them.
Yeah.
Or pictures of spoons in them is only because they'd put the table down and he was like, it's empty. Go get something.
Yeah.
And they'd go there and they were just like, okay, let's pick up some frames with spoons in it, and they just put it on the thing. And they're like, okay.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
I think the idea behind it is like a lot of the times he would just like, this is what it is, and people were like, your money, man, okay.
Pretty much. I was like, oh, we're getting paid.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Any scenes that you liked in particular, or?
That's the other thing as well. Like, it was fairly enjoyable, but I don't know whether anything particularly sticks out.
I think my favorite scenes are always going to be the ones where it's like the references to The Room.
Yeah.
Like the mimicked, reenacted one.
Yeah.
My favorite one was at the very end where like they play them side by side, and it was the scene where he goes into the flower shop and he's like, "Oh, hi Johnny, I didn't see you there. 12 dozen roses, blah, blah, blah."
Somebody
"Bye,
actually
doggy."
brought up a pretty good point about that. I can't remember who, but I heard somebody bring up a pretty good point about that, and it was they missed an opportunity with their reenactments because they didn't badly dub it,
I know, that was the
which
only
is
thing.
it doesn't quite come off.
As funny.
And that's actually kind of one of the reasons why the room is so funny as well, because it's so obviously dubbed with their voices.
Yeah, anyways, let's get to the second part. Best of the worst, best of the best.
Yep.
I made my list in preparation. Ren is winging it.
I'm winging it.
I think that speaks tremendously about
volumes
about our personalities. Crazy 4 a.m. person, non-crazy 4 a.m. person.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think what we should do, because this was actually my idea, because I thought the factors like the disaster was not going to take up over 1 hour of our time.
Yep.
Is that we would let's do the best of the worst. So I have a few honorable mentions and then my best of the worst. I don't know if you want.
This is like most enjoyably bad movie.
Yeah. I don't know. Like,
did you want to? Where do you want to start? Like,
I know you can go first. I can.
How many have you got?
I've got 3 honorable mentions for each one, and then 1 main one. I'm sorry. Yeah. I can take some away. I can do one honorable mention.
No, it's fine.
I think we should do the best bad films and then end up with the best films that we both feel like were the good ones, and then possibly decide on a good overall film for the year that we reviewed.
Cool.
So how does that sound?
Yep.
We haven't discussed this previously, so
and this isn't definitive.
No,
we haven't seen everything.
No, this is just out of all the stuff we've reviewed.
And there's Coco hasn't come out. Star Wars hasn't come out.
I do want to see Coco so bad.
Star Wars comes out tomorrow, literally, and
I'm not going to go see Star Wars, Ren.
No, I'm not telling.
You know what? For Christmas, I'm going to buy you another money tin.
No, you're not.
Do you just hate yourself for having this?
That's why I face it away from me, so I can't see it. I can only see black on this side.
It's actually so funny because I remember you just full on dissing it, and I'm like, but you've got a money can.
Yeah. Sucks.
Anyways, would you like to do your best of the worst?
Like the worst, or do you want like a fifth worst?
Just what you consider the best of the worst.
So the most enjoyably shit movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm probably gonna go for The Mummy.
Yeah. Why?
Because it was just more fun ripping the shit out of it than anything else. It was bad. It was bad, but it's like it was watching a studio fail even harder at making a cinematic universe than DC.
Oh my god.
It's really funny.
It's actually funny that you say that.
It's the most cynical movie I've seen all year.
It's very depressing.
And we saw Transformers.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I was like, I don't think either of us would have picked Transformers because that was literally bad. Like, that wasn't the best of the worst. That was, the worst of the worst. And I wasn't going to pick that. But it's funny that you say The Mummy because it's actually one of my honorable mentions, including Transformers and Valerian, which are my best of the worst.
Completely forgot we saw that.
Yeah, right? That's why I picked it. So,
I love how actually the episode that we did that, we don't even have a picture of it.
No, because we talked.
What's the fucking point?
Yeah,
it sucked.
I think it was
It was with Mother.
Yeah, it was with Mother, but we enjoyed Mother so much that we didn't even bother with Valerian.
What's this Mother was more.
Yeah,
there was more to talk about.
Yeah, well, I did Transformers clearly, but Mummy and Valerian were kind of my runners up as well. Mummy for the same reason as you, just in my mind, I was like, oh my god, you could not have started a universe so poorly. And it was just so funny just being like, oh god, you can only go down from here.
Yeah.
Only, or stay the same. But I don't know if it's going to go any better. But, we'll see Dark Universe. I really hate that.
Are they going to even make any more?
I don't know.
Didn't make any money.
I don't know.
So who cares?
But it just looked bad, even from the trailers. Like, you know when you sometimes watch a trailer and you're like, oh, you know, it's...
No, that looked like shit from the beginning.
Yeah.
It was no hiding it.
Yeah. Valerian, I knew was going to be bad, but, like, I think the saving grace for
You made me watch that.
I did make you watch that.
I was like, no, it's going to suck.
Well,
I know it.
We've talked about this. We watch good and bad films. We have to.
But I when I was watching the trailer for that, I was like, it just looks so bland.
Well, I was going to say the saving grace for Valerian for me is that, like, it's, like, got really nice animations, like, in them. Like,
It
CGI
does, but
and
it
stuff.
just, I don't know.
That's just, like...
It was well done, but in terms, like, just from a technical level, like,
Yeah.
I don't think it was particularly creative.
I know that, but, like, from a technical level, I was very, like, oh, this is pretty. Ooh, shiny.
Like, I was more impressed by Doctor Strange from a visuals perspective.
Yeah. Well, this is the best of the worst, Ren.
I know, I'm just saying.
But my best of the worst film for the year would probably be Pirates of the Caribbean.
What, it's the most entertaining bad movie?
The best of the worst, yeah. Just because...
That was going to be my least.
Really? Not even Transformers?
I don't know.
They're pretty on par.
I think it's because I can't actually remember a single thing from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, well, I think the funniest thing is watching Johnny Depp half-ass his character.
Half-ass a character he's been half-assing for a bit.
Yeah.
Since,
just,
like, the third movie.
It's just really funny. And then, like... I really enjoyed ripping into this film. Like, I knew it was going to be bad. I was like, yep, just give it to me. I want all the shitty
and
stuff.
they still set it up for a sequel.
Yeah, they did. There's another one. There's a fucking another one. And I don't know. I just I enjoyed the fact that it was bad. I know this sounds really weird. You don't like Transformers. I literally like thought I was going to die.
I didn't think either of them were entertainingly bad.
No, but I think I don't know what like when I say best of the worst, I don't mean like I enjoyed how bad. Oh, I guess you enjoyed how bad it is, but it's just like. You know.
So is this like entertainingly bad to the point where it's like enjoyable?
I don't know. Ren, this is just
or is
the
this
top...
just the shittiest movies of the year?
I guess, let's say just the shittiest movies of the year.
Okay, so Pirates of the Caribbean is my best. That is my worst of the worst then.
Your best of the worst. The best at being bad.
It's just the worst movie.
Really? I thought you were
bad.
going to...
There's no modifiers.
I thought you were going to pick Transformers.
I mean, it's so close.
Valerian is right up there too.
I'll just be more original and won't give Transformers the obvious bottom spot.
Yeah. I was thinking that too. Oh, you said Atomic Blonde was...
I would say that's higher up on the list though.
Yeah.
It was better than... Anyway, yeah, go on. So the worst film for you is Pirates of the Caribbean, as it was for me.
For you, okay. We didn't plan this. This is just what it is. We'll probably plan this better out next year and actually have a cohesive... Well, Ren will have a cohesive list. Yes. I will still have my honourable mentions and my top...
But Linda will better define the list.
Yes, I would... I thought you've seen Best of the Worst, haven't you?
Yeah, but that's a series where they celebrate people who've made really shitty movies that are so shitty that they actually end up being funny and entertaining.
Fair enough. This is just the worst of the worst, then.
This is just dog shit movies.
Okay, let's just do worst of the worst and best of the best. I'm changing the criteria halfway through.
That's better.
Let's do the good ones then.
Wait, hang on. We talked about all the shitty ones? What are your other ones?
That's the only
Valerian,
one.
The Mummy, and Transformers were
my
your honourable mentions.
And then Pirates of the Caribbean was
your shitty one.
My worst
of
the worst.
I'll have to say the honourable mention. So it was like Pirates of the Caribbean was the worst.
Yeah.
Then Transformers. Then I'll probably go for The Mummy.
That's exactly... Oh, no, wait. No, it's not exactly what I said. Oh, well... Yeah, it's pretty much what I said.
After The Mummy, though, I don't know. Like, I guess I'll maybe go for,
Okja?
Yeah, Okja kind of sucks. I hate
You
it.
hated Okja. I think you hate any political film that shoves its beliefs down your throat.
It's too obviously...
Vegan.
Yeah. Although, I mean, I wouldn't say it's just obviously vegan because it's like they actually portray the protester guys as pretty stupid as well. Yeah. But it was hard to know sometimes whether that was on purpose. Or
not.
Or whether that was just me going...
Yeah, I was a little confused too.
Because the bit where the guy is in like the truck, I remember this. I don't remember much of the rest of the film, but I remember this. Like they're having the chase, and they put her in the back of the truck, little girl. I can't remember. No, they don't have the pig. They don't have the pig again until the end of the movie, do they?
I don't remember, Ren. This was a long time
Yeah,
ago.
that was
and
ages
this
ago.
film did not change my life.
No. So many people were posting, oh my god, it's changed my life.
I never
Stick
eat
it.
meat again. Fuck off.
They even said several times, this will solve world hunger. I'm like, well, you selfish bastard.
Yeah, I know. I was like,
Kill it.
fuck. Kill it. Kill it all.
Anyway, so
You're tearing us apart.
they've got the kid in the back of the truck and they're like promising they'll get her back.
Oh, yeah.
And then one of the guys is just like, he's pretty much saying he's like swearing off all food because that's the only moral way to live, and he's
yeah.
really weak and like he can't.
I think he's
And
like,
I was
I
like,
didn't want to eat a tomato. I don't know.
Yeah, he couldn't eat a tomato or something like they were offering him even vegetables and stuff, and he wouldn't eat. And you're like,
Can he
"Guy's
eat
a
rocks?
fucking moron." No, that'd probably be immoral as well because people keep pet rocks.
What
I don't
happens?
know.
I think. What happens if you eat a food that someone else doesn't want because it's already dead, technically, and then
Isn't it the people who like eat stuff that just falls naturally off trees? Whatever those idiots
I
are.
don't know what's that diet? It starts with P, and it's like you like the caveman diet. What's it called again?
Paleo diet.
Yeah, is that what it is?
Isn't
Fuck,
it-
I don't know.
Isn't that the
anything.
one they keep claiming it's medicine, but it's food?
I don't know. I've literally never heard anyone claim that, but I guess
I have heard people claim it.
I know there was
I like those people who claim like it's the caveman diet, and
McDonald's.
no, it's the caveman diet. So the moment we started eating meat is when we started to like evolve more. So really, they're less evolved people.
Yeah, that's the thing that gets me because people are like, oh, we weren't supposed to eat meat, and I'm like,
Really,
we can digest. I do understand, like, technically, this is actually quite interesting since we're talking about diets, is that, they're like, well, why do Europeans love cheese and, like, more Asian countries don't really have dairy? Turns out, pretty much 80% of Asian countries, like China, Japan, not Australia, but definitely China, and, like, around that area, 80% of the population is lactose intolerant. It's really weird.
but it's because isn't it because they didn't have milk?
Yeah, I think
as
that
they
might
developed?
be the case. Yeah, because I'm lactose sensitive. I'm Chinese. I'm lactose sensitive. I can tolerate milk, but most of the time,
Not in large quantities.
a lot of soft cheeses. I always torture myself by eating it, and then everyone around me regrets it. And it's like, I don't understand why, because I remember when I was very young, I could still process it pretty okay, but as I got older, it just was like, nope, I can't have it, I'm sad. And I just get really bad tummy aches, and it just really confused me. And then, I was looking at the article, and I'm like, oh, that actually makes sense. Literally everyone in my, genetically,
in your family.
in my family, lactose intolerant.
That's funny because I can't remember what the theory is. It's like because it's all about human development.
Yeah.
Because it's like you can trace how far people come by pretty much the climate,
Yeah.
and it's like the reason why Europe went ahead so well is because it's really mild generally, so it's easy to grow.
Whatever.
Everything's easier there basically
Yeah.
because and that's why Africa's so difficult to live in because how do you grow shit there? It's just barren everywhere.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Anyways, best of the best.
so yes, the best movies.
Should we do honourable mentions?
Sure. What are yours?
Mine are Baby Driver,
Yep.
Mother,
Yep.
and The Red Pill.
Oh yes.
I think The Red Pill is very important. I really wanted to mention it because that was the first film that I watched. Well, one of the first films I watched on this podcast, but also one of the first...
second one.
Second one. Fine, the second film I watched. But one of the first films I've ever watched that really changed my opinions on my own views. Most of the time, if I watch something like Akya or a documentary, I'd be like, I'd still eat that, or I'll still do that. That doesn't bother me.
It's because most things.
It's kind of cliche, I think.
Well, it's most the Okja thing. I think is definitely cliche now.
But watching The Red Pill really changed my perception of my views as a feminist and what I consider feminism and misogyny and the patriarchy, all that nonsense stuff you probably don't want to hear, but it just changed my views so strongly, and just pretty much... I know it sounds weird. Like, my views weren't so weak that it could just change, but it did sway me in a different path.
It's more like it's just more information.
Yeah. I think it's... And I always recommend it to people who are very, like, stuck in their ways. And I'm like, you should probably watch this and not necessarily educate yourself, just get a better understanding of maybe the other side of the story.
Yep.
And just have a better understanding of, like... Well, because everyone thinks their problems are the most important ones and the only ones. So I think it's just good to...
I think the message of that film is really, we've all got problems, okay?
Yeah.
So just chill out a bit
Yeah.
and go deal with them. A bit better than just what you're doing.
So those are my honourable mentions. Mother, of course. Once again...
Can I have a list of a couple of films which I just find incredibly mediocre that land right in the middle?
Yeah, okay, sure.
But I have no strong opinion, really no strong opinion on.
I have a lot of those.
I have ones that I think are the best.
Yeah.
That we've watched, but...
Any of the Marvel DC films, I think, are just mediocre. Maybe not all of them.
Well, we'll get to that. But
Yeah,
anyway,
we'll get to
So
that.
you've... What was your best?
My best is actually Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Okay. I picked it... I was originally going to pick Mother or Dunkirk, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I think at the end I picked Wonder Woman just because I was so adamant that it was going to be shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was like, up until the very last minute of sitting down to cinema, I was like saying to people, I was like, it's going to be fucking shit. I'm going to hate it. They're going to ruin Wonder Woman for me. Whatever. I don't even care. DC's just going to fuck me up.
It's funny, actually, speaking of DC.
Yeah.
I've recently got this week... So you know the Batman animated series from the 90s. They made a Superman one as well, which I used to watch. They also made a Justice League one that went for like 4 seasons afterwards.
And they got cancelled.
And I've started watching it. And it's so much better than Justice League
yeah,
movie.
I know. Any of the old school Batman the animated series, Superman, Justice League, even not Teen Titans. The Teen Titans?
Brave and the Bold.
The Brave and the Bold. There's one with this, like the Titans, whatever. They're all much better than whatever DC's produced. So if DC could just take that and put people in there, perfect. But yeah, Wonder Woman, it was the film that I literally, anytime anyone said they watched it and they liked it, I would roll my eyes. I'd be like, bitch, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. It's shit. And then I watched it and I was... that was the only film of the year that proved me wrong in terms of everything else either met my expectations or did not fall to my expectations.
Or was worse.
Or was worse, yeah, pretty much. That was the only film that was like, oh no, this is actually better than what I thought it was going to be. A lot better. And it was very successful, but like DC's probably going to fuck it up in the next
It's like
years.
it's changed to a dying animal.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it is. It's like, that was why any time she turned up in Justice League, it was like, oh, I know that.
The good one.
Oh, the good one. The one who's actually cool.
I'm actually writing a blog post.
Who they seem to continuously forget about throughout the film because I think they assumed it was going to do badly.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I'm writing a review, a blog post about Justice League to complement the podcast that has been taking forever to upload. And my title for it is literally, I relate to Flash, but everyone thinks he's annoying. And that is like the truest statement I've heard.
It's funny because like watching, because I know the Flash is a more jokey, lighthearted character generally. Like I don't watch the TV show that's on at the moment. What I've been watching of the Justice League animated series, he's still a comic relief, but he's not an important enough character at any moment to really be annoying.
Yeah.
And I think his jokes are better written in the show.
Probably.
There's like one thing I know, and this is the thing that Warner Brothers used to do well as well, is like put adult jokes into their kids' shows pretty much.
I love that.
So like...
hate how PG everything is now.
So Flash has like an ongoing thing where he tries to chat up Hawkgirl, who's not in Justice League at the moment, but I'm sure she will be.
Yeah.
He continuously he's trying to like chat her up, and then one time he says he's like the fastest man on earth, and she said, I don't think I'd brag about that, like that sort of thing. Like these sorts of things that they bring up. There's like little jokes like that. Like Flash is always trying to hit on whatever lady they come across.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, and it's, I don't know, the Ezra Miller type of like the young teen guy, quirky teen guy was kind of more annoying to me than just the almost overconfident dick that he is in the show.
I think they should find a bit of a happy medium where he's not so awkward and weird and annoying and like chatty,
Yeah.
but also at the same time someone who's not super like, oh, you're a fucking dick.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not
You're
who's yeah.
you're a blunt cunt.
They do a good job in the show, especially with like Batman.
Oh, Batman's
Because
amazing.
Batman sucks in Justice League
does.
movie, and it's all these moments in the Justice League show where
love
like
Batman, the animated
where like
series.
Batman doesn't have a hope of winning,
Yeah.
and then he still does something
Yeah.
to help. Like it's, I don't know. It was, and he's always like the lone wolf guy. He's like never asks for help first, and then they come and help him if he
Yeah.
needs it, and it's yeah. Anyway, so how many did you have in your good list?
I have 3, 4 including my top.
Okay. I'll do the same then. So I'd probably say like the number 4 out of the 4 would probably be John Wick 2.
Okay. I already
I
know
liked
what
it.
your favourite one's going to be.
Yes, you do. So that was, yeah, the 4th best, I think. 3rd was probably Baby Driver for me. 2nd's probably Dunkirk.
Oh, yeah.
And number 1 is predictably Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one from my perspective.
I was like, last time I was writing this and I was like, Brent's going to say freaking Blade Runner. If he did not say Blade Runner, I was thinking to myself, if he doesn't say Blade Runner, I'm going to cut my hand off or something. Honestly, I just do not believe it. Don't believe anything otherwise.
Blade Runner, because it defied my expectations and was a good Hollywood sequel, and they don't make those anymore, so they're not allowed to do that anymore.
There's been like one.
I would say the Red Pill would be on that list as well, but
Yeah.
I suppose I'm looking more at the films.
Yeah.
And it's the one doco that we reviewed.
I really did enjoy it.
Oh, I thought it was great.
Dunkirk, I think, was a universal, like, oh yeah, no, it was pretty good.
Dunkirk's just a very well made
Yeah.
visual movie in
Yeah.
terms of it just tells a story, or just plays the events out. John Wick was just more of what I like, and Baby Driver
Ooh.
was just an entertaining.
There's actually
movie.
another film that I wanted to mention, which is Love and Vincent, which we watched a few weeks back. I know you have. The reason I didn't put it on this is because I know you didn't really watch it.
You can still put it on.
It is one of I actually did some more research about it. I'm not sure if I mentioned this. I cannot remember what I just talked about because I am half brain dead. But
Talked about Wonder Woman.
Oh no, but I did write a post about it yesterday and I posted it up. I told you about this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I actually did a lot more research on the actual filmmaking process. So apparently they had 125 artists and they painted 65,000 different slides.
Yep.
But they only picked 1,000 of them to put into the film because during the process between transferring from canvas to digital, they had to take a lot of it out, which was quite sad. And also, what else? I can't remember what I wrote. Yeah, it took 4 to 6 years to complete.
Yep.
I think I mentioned that before. And it was really weird because the more I read about it, I was like, this Wikipedia page is 2,000 pages too long. I was more reading about it, more I was like, holy shit, his life is fucked up.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the reason I want to mention that film as well is because it was, I think it's the first and it's the only film at the moment that is completely hand-drawn in that way.
Painted, isn't it?
And for someone I did animation for one semester. It was the longest semester of my life. And I think I've said this before, but when you're looking at a scene or just a second of it, it's roughly around 24 frames. But at the moment, I think sometimes digitally it can be up to 30 frames per second.
Yep.
And just to think about how long that could have fucking taken, just drawing all of them, not even just you can't even just copy and paste it. That's the thing.
Yep.
You have to draw it out, paint it out. And the thing with oil paint is oil paint doesn't just dry. It can take up to a month to dry. So pretty crazy.
Yep.
I just have such appreciation for the people and the directors and all that behind it.
The way they did it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Plus, didn't they film it first?
They filmed it. Yeah, they had to film all of it, and then they had to do
paint
a
over it.
Yeah, a call for, and they decided over traditional painters over animators because they felt like stylistically would be the better option. But then obviously they had to cull so many pieces because of that. But yeah,
That's good.
So-
I mean, I still haven't seen it.
you really should
unfortunately.
watch it. I think you'd enjoy it.
I didn't see Murder on the Orient Express because I don't care.
Yeah, that's
Um,
well, okay, let's collectively pick the worst and
the
collective-
most Blair movies
the
of
most
the year.
horrible.
Average.
Like I would literally.
Should we talk about like the most average or the shittiest?
Should we do like shit, middle, the best?
We've done shit, haven't we?
Transformers?
No,
Oh no, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates of the Caribbean was
Yeah,
the
okay.
shittiest.
Well, that
movie
was
of the year.
like just undecidedly the shittiest movie of the year.
Yeah.
What would be the most blur?
The most Blair. Ghost in the Shell.
No.
The most average movie of the most bland. I didn't really think much.
Atomic Blonde.
Yeah. I mean, this is like, you know, the race to the middle.
Yeah.
The rest of the... I mean, Kingsman's in there.
I was gonna say Kingsman too, but I can't. I feel like I'm not allowed to rate Kingsman because I'm too biased and it's too close to my heart. It's like the equivalent of you can't like. I feel like if Blade Runner was shit, you'd still somehow be like, I'd watch that again.
Maybe, but that being said, I haven't watched Rogue One again because I can't stand it.
Yeah, that's a different caliber of shit.
Yeah. It's like Thor and Spider-Man, two Marvel movies.
I think they're a bit higher up on the scale in terms of like
I think they're better than average.
they're better than average. They're not great.
I think Spider-Man's better than Thor.
Yeah, definitely.
Foreigner? What did you think? I haven't seen it.
I'd say Foreigner is possibly just because I think there were certain parts that were so weak to the film would probably be closer towards the middle.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be as good as Spider-Man or Thor, but it would be definitely way better than Atomic Blonde or what was the other one we said? Ghost in the Shell. It's better than Ghost in the Shell, but like let's say on a scale from 1 to 10 it'd be like a 6, whereas like Thor or Spider-Man would be like a 7 or 8.
Yep.
What would be your best? What would be like decidedly our best film for the year? Apart from Blade Runner, maybe apart from Wonder Woman.
Yeah, apart from Blade Runner, Wonder. I'm gonna go for Dunkirk.
Yeah, I was gonna say Dunkirk. Dunkirk or Mother?
Yeah, Mother's more. Depends on if you get out of it. I mean, Dunkirk I think is a better all rounder.
Yeah. Although I do have someone who I knew who hated Dunkirk because he's like, "Where's the talking?" And I'm like, "They're in
Watch
war."
another war movie.
I was like, "You should watch Hacksaw Ridge."
Hacksaw Ridge, yeah,
Hacksaw
watch that,
Ridge.
and that's good too.
Yeah. I was like, "You should watch that," and he's like,
Or
"Oh, are
Saving
you
Private
salty
Ryan.
because I don't like your film?" And like, I'm like, "It's not my
It's
film."
not my film. Yeah,
but,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd say Dunkirk.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to see Harry Styles in another film now because I'm like, was this a fluke or are you
Probably.
just really good? I don't know.
He'd have to be with a damn good director again.
I know. There's the person who's doing La La Land is doing another one called like The Greatest Showman or something like that with Hugh Jackman.
Oh, Hugh Jackman. Okay.
I don't know how I feel because I don't know how I feel about Hugh Jackman singing.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. It's like Meryl Streep singing. I don't think he should do it anymore, but he's gonna.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
like
he
he
can't
shouldn't.
cash in the Wolverine money anymore.
I know.
He's officially dead. That being said, we actually saw that and didn't discuss it on the podcast. Well, we did, but that was for our test.
Yeah, that was
Logan.
for our tester. Yeah, and Beauty and the Beast and Logan was.
Logan was pretty great, actually.
Yeah.
I'd certainly rate that higher than Spider-Man and Thor.
Oh yeah.
As far as
I'd rate that in pretty much on par with maybe. What was the good ones? I'd rate that on par with John Wick, if not better. Guardians of the Galaxy.
yeah.
It's pretty good.
I thought Guardians of the Galaxy was better than Thor and Spider-Man.
Oh yeah. Please.
Much better. Although it doesn't turn up in any of our lists.
No. I think
It was more like, it was really good. I enjoyed it.
I think it's very forgettable. Like, I think out of the Marvel movies we saw, like, or was it Guardians of the Galaxy, Spider-Man, Thor? Spider-Man definitely stands out as the top 3 out of the 2 in my mind, just because of, like, the character. And I think it's kind of like, oh, for once we revamped a character, and it wasn't shit.
I don't know. I feel like Guardians will stand up better over time.
Yeah. But I think Thor is definitely the weakest out of the 3, because it's just...
Yeah. I mean, I laughed,
meh.
but... Eh.
But, like, it's easy to get a laugh out of Marvel, like...
Yeah. I mean, you'd think it'd be easy to get a laugh out of Justice League as well.
I laughed.
I didn't.
I heard you laughing.
I think I was laughing at the movie at one point because I
No,
thought it was
with
really
the movie.
stupid.
At the movie, not
I
with
think
the
it was the
movie.
bit when Aquaman jumped backwards into the water and that little zipping trail went off into the distance. I went, like,
You know
so
what that
stupid.
reminds me of? Like in Futurama, the Zobo goes like, and he like that's what it reminds. The sound effect.
I was reminded of Roadrunner. How he shoots off and it's like a dust trail. Yeah, yeah. The other part that made me laugh actually is like when Aquaman goes underwater back to Atlantis.
Yeah.
He's not kicking his legs, but there's bubbles coming out. It looked like he was propelling himself through his farts. And I thought that was funny too.
Say that.
Basically, all of the comic parts of the bits I found funny with Aquaman because they didn't do anything with him.
Jason Momoa was beautiful though.
He's cool, but
Sorry.
no, I don't have like a problem with him playing that role. They just need to give him something to do.
He's a good actor though. Like I think they just.
He's fine.
He's a great actor.
I mean, I've only seen him in
more.
2 things, so I don't know. Like, one of them, he doesn't have anything to do, so his performance isn't, like, great or anything, and that's as Aquaman. The other one was Khal Drogo in Game of Thrones, and
really good as Carl.
he's good at that, but that's a really specific thing.
He's beautiful. It's fine. With a face like that, he can get away with anything. It was weird with his contacts though.
Yeah.
They just heebie-jeebied me out. Sorry.
I
Like
felt like the scene underneath in Atlantis was like a reshoot, because it looked really bad.
well, Superman's freaking upper lip looked really
Yeah,
bad.
that was funny.
I still talk about that with people. Whenever people talk about it, I'm like, did you realize
Did you realise that they fucked up his face?
Yeah, like legit.
For production reasons. Which is why he looked like a freak.
It was weird. Cool.
The opening shot was terrifying with him in it. Like that.
It was weird, right? Like something fell off. We talked about this. Something did fall off. Ira said it was his chin.
Something fell off. Yeah, it was his face.
Something
face
fell
fell
off. But like I remember I saying, "Oh, I think it's his chin," and then you'll be like, "No, it's just his face. That's his face now." And I'm like,
That's what his face looks like because of Mission Impossible 6.
Oh, there's another one.
Yeah, because he's a character in it, and he had to grow a moustache, and
Why
then
can't he
they had
just
to do
put on a
reshoots.
fake moustache?
That's exactly what you would expect to do, but no.
Disaster artist when he couldn't shave his moustache.
Yeah.
Oh, he had to shave his
He
beard.
had to shave his beard. For Bryan Cranston's role in Malcolm in the Middle.
Was that a legit thing that
I don't know
happened?
if that's real, because
No.
I haven't read, if that is real, I haven't read it in the book yet. But I feel like maybe as well, they could have just got Bryan Cranston and said, oh, you were in a pretty big TV show at one point. We'll just put you in, because maybe he's a fan of The Room as well. Like, that's the other thing as well, like, that sort of shit annoys me.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I don't care about these big name actors turning up in bit roles.
Yeah, I don't understand, like... And there was, like, Kirsten
Jackie
Bell as
Weaver's in
well,
it
and I
as
was
well.
like...
Jackie Weaver's in it as well. It's an Australian actress who
I don't know who that
was
is.
in Animal Kingdom. She plays the actress playing Lisa's mother.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay, I didn't know
she's
that.
a good actress, but
They're all probably
why the
very
fuck-
good actors.
Oh no, they are. They are. But I don't know. I think she was cast genuinely because she's good, but because I don't think she's like a recognizable face.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Seth Rogen, all the others. Not that they didn't add anything,
Yeah.
but like I don't know why.
I think everyone wanted a bit of this film, though. It's like,
Yeah,
mine,
I think-
mine.
It's been this little thing that's kind of fun. Although speaking of terrible movies, have you played Hidden Agenda yet?
Yeah, oh, shit, yeah. Well, oh, God, this is going to end on a weird note. So, we played it.
Mm-hmm.
We played it in story mode. We played it in competitive mode. Competitive mode is stupid because...
You have to try. Somebody has to try and fool everybody else.
Yeah, but
I
like
know that.
Ren, by the end of it, it was like me on 0, everyone else was on 400, and I was like, I'm just getting fucked over by this game. And then one of them, I did actually go through with my agenda, and then it didn't give me the points.
Okay.
So I was
that's
like,
helpful.
so I think that it's either very glitchy or they just haven't gotten it 100% yet. The actual story version, with all 4 of us, me, intern, and a few other people, was actually okay. Like, we kind of, like, we didn't hate it. Like, we didn't...
No, but like from a functional perspective, it's fine. But I think it's just a terrible story.
It was
Doesn't make
okay.
any sense.
I think the fact that we were all laughing and like discussing and talking about it took like kind of distracted us because I think I said to Kenji afterwards, I was like, if I played this on my own, I'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's
But
dumb.
but actually, like, when we're there and it's like, who's the bravest, or because I'm not sure if you played it with other people, but at the beginning of every, like, chapter or section, you vote on who do you trust the most, who do you think is the smartest, who do you think is, like, the nicest, or whatever, and then at a certain critical point, like a ripple point, they're like, well, let's say, they're like, who do you trust the most? And, like, the person that was previously, like, the person who was voted most for was, let's say, you, like Ren, but then you voted for me, so they'd actually go, well, Ren trusted Linda, so Linda gets to choose. So it's actually kind of interesting in that way. But, like, the gameplay itself, I feel like, is the strongest when it's with other people. The competitive mode, don't play that. It's shit. It's absolute trash. It takes the fun away. It also misleads you on where you should go, because it's like, well, the story can only go in a certain way.
Yeah.
So,
I did read something. It was like the whole entire job of the person
was to sabotage.
It's basically to sabotage the story.
Yeah.
Not like the investigation or anything like that. Just the story and how it's structured. And how
but
it
then
works.
like everyone loses.
Yeah.
At the end, so it doesn't really make any sense unless there's only one saboteur through the whole thing, and they win at the end if they get to sabotage.
The way I see that is, it's just better to play like a deception board game.
Probably.
And it is to play that game.
It was fun. I think it's fun when you play with other people. But it's only fun when you play it through the first time with other people. So like
play it more than once.
Yeah, it's not worth. Like after we played it first time, I was like, okay, I'm done with this game. Like never again. Not gonna worry about it. But I'd say if it was $10 or $5 on sale at the App Store, I'd buy it and play it. Because there's not much replay. I mean, there is some replay value if you want to get all the trophies and all the endings. But personally, we got the competitive ending we got was like a really bad one. It was like a very inconclusive one where she was just on the run. Yep. But the one that when we played through together, we actually got through the very end, found out who the killer was, got the killer and all that. I got so annoyed at one of my friends because she kept missing like the shot when we had to shoot the main antagonist. And I was like, oh my god, you keep missing. She's like, I'm sorry, I can't react. So it was really funny. But pretty much that scene we played all through to the end, finished the whole thing, found out who the killer was, did all that. After that, I just felt no urge to go back and find out the other endings.
Neither did I.
And which is why I'm like, look, it's definitely not got any replay value and it's not a very strong story, but I think the idea of playing together with other people and getting to vote on like those certain things, those I really enjoyed. And it was those moments, I thought it was funny because let's say someone vote like who's the person who's like who can react the best under pressure, and then Kenji would pick someone like, you know, one of our other friends, and I'd be like, excuse me. Yeah,
it's got a social aspect.
Yeah, that's the fun part. That's the moment where
that's what I mean. Like, but you'd be better off playing like a deception board game.
I know, but I think the idea is like it's all on your phone. Don't have to worry about like bits and pieces. Board games, I find sometimes I can be a bit like, oh, I can't be fucked reading every single little thing, doing this.
No, but I mean, like, deception board games usually aren't like you read it. There's like a basic outline of like how the game plays, and then most of it's like you working it with other people, just talking.
Yeah, I know. I think
you play the Resistance or Secret Hitler or something like that.
We've played the Resistance. I've played that before and all that. And we've played this one called Outbreak, and it's all fine. I think just having the digital element does bring a little bit extra, like having cutscenes and all that stuff.
Have you played like One Night Ultimate Werewolf?
I've played Heavy Rain and stuff like that.
No, but Ultimate Werewolf is a board game, but it's got a digital element of like your phone pretty much like plays out an audio cue thing with timer and everything. Okay. And like does it, and that's pretty good.
So I wouldn't mind. Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
Because you've got to find out who the werewolf is.
I think it just brings like, look, I have nothing wrong with using my imagination. I like to think I have a pretty good imagination, but I think it just helps everyone get on the same platform when you have an audio or like a visual cue. So like, oh well, this is going to happen, or we're in a scene where we have to run, or like I think, which is why certain people don't prefer to play like board games, because they're like, well, I just can't get into it, or I can't get my mindset into it. Same idea with people who read books or who choose to read books over movies, or movies over books. Some people who watch movies probably just feel like, oh well, I can't get into the book without any extra stimulus other than my brain, you know. So I think, yeah, like there are some. It's not a very strong game, I will admit. It's not, but I think when played with the right people and just played for the one time through.
It
It's
does
pretty
come
fun.
across as a game entirely made to advertise the PlayLink feature in
Yeah.
PlayStation.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm not against it. I definitely say there are things they can improve on, and they could probably make the game longer.
Yep.
Maybe only by an hour or so, because I feel like when you play it, you'd have to play it through in one sitting.
I think it's hard because the whole thing with, like... So these guys made Until Dawn, and that, like, screw with the story sort of aspect that you can do, I think really works for, the horror movie. Of, like, you got all your characters, which are pretty typical, like, cliched sort of thing, and then it just sort of plays out, and you almost get to, like... You're trying to sort of keep people alive, but you don't necessarily know all the ways they can die and all that sort of stuff, and then you can end up with everybody dead or everybody alive or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that whole thing of, like, the horror movie can work a lot better. Even though the story doesn't really make complete sense, it's kind of... You can just laugh at it and have fun with it.
Yeah. I think
And whereas, like, the whole investigation, like, detective story can be completely destroyed by you screwing with the story to the point where it's, like, not satisfying at all.
Yeah. I think if they made a multiplayer version of Until Dawn,
Yeah.
where all four of you are trapped in a cabin and you have to somehow survive, and then if you die, then you either die or you can be another character. I think that'd be pretty cool, and
That'd be more fun.
I'd definitely play that. Kind of like the Friday the 13th game, except less
Like
running.
more movie-based.
More movie-based,
It's
less
an interactive
running.
film.
Yeah, so because I really like the aspect of... I know we're going way off tangent right now.
Yeah, that's fine.
But I like the aspect of having to hold the controller still with the monster coming up to you.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was really, like, I think interesting, and I liked how... I don't know, I just liked how, things could change and you can make choices, and... I don't know, I think it's just... I like the idea of Hidden Agenda. I think if they had merged maybe some concepts from Until Dawn with Hidden Agenda, it would be a better idea. Possibly not use PlayLink, maybe use the controllers, just have multiple controllers, because obviously the controller has a gyro and all that.
Cheaper.
That is true.
If everybody brings their phone.
Or you could have an option where people can play it on their phone and on the controller. Like, have four main people on the
Well, that's true, because I don't really see why you couldn't do the PlayLink thing with just a longer, more...
Yeah.
bigger game. I mean, I suppose it's because as well, like, it does have a habit of disconnecting.
Yeah. Well...
And that could all be ironed out if they actually work on it, but yeah.
Yeah, like... There's a lot... I think it still needs a lot of fine-tuning. That's the thing. There's a lot of... Yeah, there's a lot of stuff missing, but...
I know that's what do you call it? Quantic Dream's latest game comes out next year, which is going to be funny. Detroit. And then there's the one in February, the prison one.
Oh, yeah, shit. I was looking at that.
I can't remember what it's called, though. But it's called, like, No Way Out or something.
Something like that, I remember.
That looks fun. Apparently you only need to have one copy to play it.
What do you mean?
One copy of the game. You don't need to buy 2 copies to play it online.
Why would you buy 2 copies?
Because, like, somebody else is over somebody else that you're playing with.
Oh,
Online.
okay. Oh, okay. I was thinking, like, why would you buy a copy for at home and then a copy for online? That doesn't make any sense.
No, I mean, like, your friend doesn't have to own a copy to play with you.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Apparently. They've done it that way. So
That's pretty cool.
only one person needs to own it for you to both play it through.
That's pretty cool.
Which sounds cool.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to play that when it comes.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so now to the nitty-gritty stuff. When do we want to start again? Next year.
I don't mind, really.
Because I remember we said I'm going away, but we were going to start in Feb.
Mm-hmm.
So, we can do the first Saturday, Sunday in Feb, which will be the 3rd or the 4th.
Can say that for now.
Yeah.
If something changes.
So we'll be back the first week of February. And then I'll be going away, so Ren will have to either be on his own, or he can do some other cool stuff on his own, whatever he
Cool.
like. Or we can record multiple podcasts in one go. This all can be edited out. This is
Yeah.
just for our own reference.
Yeah. So we may as well just finish it up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'll see you next year.
Yeah. Enjoy the crappy movies and the Oscar contenders.
Enjoy. I want to see Coco. I'm going to go see Coco.
Yeah, we'll see Coco. I'll see Star Wars and probably go, that was a movie.
Okay.
Okay. Goodbye.
Bye.